Craig Venter's announcement that his team would finish the entire genome in just 2 years galvanized everybody working on the public project. Now, they were scrambling to keep up.
There are some limitations. We don't think we can get this thing to go any faster at the moment without throwing a lot more robotics at it. The arm physically takes 20 seconds to move.
Francis Collins, the head of the Human Genome Project, was determined that Solera was not going to beat his teams to the prize. He made a dramatic decision to try to cut 5 full years off the original plan.
Would that be an okay way to do it?
When the major genome centers met and agreed to go for broke here, I don't think there was anybody in the room that was very confident we could do that. I mean, you could sit down with a piece of paper and make projections if everything went really well that might get you there, but there were so many ways this could have just run completely off the track.
At MIT, they decided to try to scale up their effort 15-fold, and that meant a major change in their usual academic pace.
We basically had a goal since March to get to a plate-a-minute operation from womb to tomb, all the way through.
In the fall of 1999, representatives from the 5 major labs come to check out Eric Lander's operation. All the big honchos in the Human Genome Project are here. Scientists from Washington University in St. Louis, Baylor College of Medicine in Texas, the Department of Energy. She's from the Sanger Center in England. If they want to finish the genome before Craig Venter, these folks have to figure out how to outfit their labs with a lot of new and fancy and unfamiliar equipment, and they've got to do it fast.
So we'll have to run some sort of a conduit.
At MIT, a different crate is arriving almost daily.
It's like Christmas. Everyone unwraps something.
Just like a bad Christmas present, assembly is required, and the instructions are, of course, not always clear.
Oh no, the magnet plates stick to each other? This is about right. Plus or minus 3 feet.
Since one's on the cutting edge, I guess that they always call it the bleeding edge, right? Nothing really is working as you expect. All of the stuff we're doing will be working perfectly as soon as we're ready to junk it.
Right, right.
The MIT crew is particularly excited about their brand new $300,000 state-of-the-art DNA purifying machine.
All right. Maiden voyage. It didn't ask me for a passport. That's good. On it goes.
You got the yellow light right away. That's okay. That's
I don't think the blinking light is a good sign.
It's sort of like flying a very large plane and repairing it while you're flying. And you want to figure out what went wrong. And you also realize that you're spending, tens of thousands of dollars an hour, so you feel under a little pressure to sort of work this out as quickly as you can.
So he calls the customer service line. And of course, he's put on hold. So he waits. And he waits. And he waits. Anyway, it turns out that the $300,000 machine does have one tiny little valve that's broken, and so it doesn't work.
All right.
You never know whether the problem is due to some robot, some funky bit of biochemistry, some chemical that you got that isn't really working. And so, it's like incredibly complicated.
So we have a test transformation where we transform a tenth of our ligation.
and add SDS to lyse the phage, and all of our thermocyclers are 384 well plates. So if you basically determine where your 96 well plate wells were on this 384 well plate and give them each a different run module.
Try to ramp something up, anything that's the slightest bit kludgy suddenly becomes a major bottleneck.
We talked about doing a full-up test today, and we weren't quite feeling good about doing that yet, so.
There was a considerable sense of white knuckles amongst all of us. Because here we made this promise. We were on the record here saying we're going to do this. And things weren't working. The machines were breaking down.
They haven't got them all in right, so it's just a quick swap.
This is like November?
and it's got to work now. The time is running out.
This was just delivered on Tuesday, so this is one of its 3 inaugural runs, and it seems to be flawless so far.
It took a while, but the government teams finally hit their stride.
The hardest
But the fall of that year was really sort of the determining time. The centers really proved their mettle, and every one of them began to catch this rising curve and ride it, and we began to see data appearing at prodigious rates. By early 2000, 1,000 base pairs a second were rolling out of this combined enterprise. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 1,000 base pairs a second. Then it really starts to go.
And those thousands of base pairs poured out of the university labs directly onto the internet. Updated every night, it's available for anybody and everybody, including, by the way, the competition.
Customers love our data.
Solera admits they got lots of data directly from the government. And Tony White, who runs the company that owns Solera, says, why not?
That's publicly available data. I'm a taxpayer. Solera's a taxpayer. You know, it's publicly, why should we be excluded from getting it? I mean, again, are they creating it to give it to mankind except Solera? Is that the idea? It isn't about us getting the data. It's about this academic jealousy. It's about the fact that our data, in combination with theirs, gives us a perceived unfair advantage over this so-called race.
If they want to race us,
Of course
that's
they
their
do.
business.
Don't they want to?
I suppose they may.
I suspect strongly.
Our job is to get that data out there so everybody can go use it.
Since Solera was sequencing the genome with private money, some critics wondered why should the government pour so much cash into the exact same research?
In the United States, we invested in a national highway system in the 1950s. We got tremendous return for building roads for free and letting everybody drive up and down them for whatever purpose they wanted. We're building a road up and down the chromosomes for free. People can drive up and down those chromosomes for anything they want to. They can make discoveries, they can learn about medicine, they can learn about history, whatever they want. It is worth the public investment to make those roads available.